What's up, guys, and welcome to the Marvel booth here at New York Comic Con. And we are here with Chuck Costas, the VP of Business Development and Operations for Prop Store.
Hey, everyone.
And you guys are taking over the stage, and it's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. It was fun to design it. We actually, it was fun. I actually took pictures of the Jessica Jones set, and our artist brought it to life. So it's great to be able to do that for people at New York Comic Con.
I want to shout out the Comic Con fashion. You looking
Thank you. This is
sharp, my friend.
You don't have to act. You can go into the business world and put your Comic Con on, and nobody will know the difference.
I like
this
it.
is my homage to Kilgrave from those folks that were fans of Marvel Jessica Jones in season 1.
All right.
I love
He's
it.
the man.
The props down there,
Yeah.
it's insane. Please tell us about this auction. So many people have been coming by taking pictures of the props, trying to get up close. Not too close, but
don't take
all these props and costumes came to come here to Comic Con.
Yeah, so Josh and I got to talk about the first Marvel television live auction back in San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, we did that back in August with Marvel, and we offered Marvel's Luke Cage, Marvel's Daredevil, and Marvel's Iron Fist. This is an auction focused specifically on Marvel's Jessica Jones. Over 400 items that we're going to have from Marvel's Jessica Jones that we're offering to fans. And Marvel was really great because when the show was wrapping, they said, we really want to get this stuff in the hands of fans. Can you help us to figure out what the fans are going to want and help put the auction together? So I got to actually go on set and actually go pick things like Jessica's desk. I was like, I got to have Jessica's desk.
Oh.
And we have it here on the Comic-Con floor today. Awesome, the bullet holes in it.
I was just about to say this.
And it's a practical desk. You can actually put it at your house.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. But yeah, but what we're going to be offering, if you go to propstore.com/Marvel right now, there's a preview online for folks at home to see of some of the items that'll be in there. And we'll give you a bit of a preview here today too.
Yeah, but before we get into all that, I want to get the fans get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, Chuck Costas,
You have a dream job, and you are not only have this dream job, but you're also a fan of this.
Yes, I am.
How did this journey come to be? What is like your Marvel origin?
All right, so my quick Marvel origin, I lived in Indonesia when I was a kid. My first Marvel comic book, Star Wars Treasury Edition. I couldn't see Star Wars in the theater because they didn't have it there, but I got to read the Marvel comic book. But I only got to read the first half of it, and I was like, what happens in the rest of Star Wars? And I didn't find out until I got back in the States a year later. But flash forward to the 1980s. My grandmother gave me $5, and she said, here's your birthday money. And I used to collect baseball cards and stuff. I want to try something new. And I was a huge fan of Dungeons & Dragons, and I was like, I'm going to try Conan the Barbarian. Read Conan number 131. I was like, how much story can they put in 20 pages? And it was just amazing to me, and I was hooked. I had to read everything, became a huge X-Men fan, and was a Marvel guy for life after that.
X-Men fan,
Hey,
hey.
it always comes up. I was going to say, who is your favorite X-Man, and why is the correct answer Cyclops?
You let him answer.
I did respect Cyclops for being the leader. I think at that time in the 80s, definitely the stand-up guy. He started, was one of the founding members of that. All the respect for Cyclops, but I had to say I was a Wolverine guy.
Ooh. You know what? You know why I like Mr. Chuck Costas? He said I give respect to Cyclops. A lot of people drag his name and they say
Somebody's
no
a fire extinguisher to put you out, my friend.
I respect Wolverine, so thank you.
We're going to move back to Jessica Jones.
Yes, Marvel's Jessica Jones.
Yes.
So we hear you brought some props.
We did. I did.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to share some with you and the folks at home here.
Oh my gosh. Can we get this live look? Can we bring them out? Let's
bring some out. All right. The first one I'm going to start with was a comic book that was specifically made for the show. So in Jessica Jones season 1,
oh my
you
gosh,
see this Patsy Walker comic book, and the Tedesco was the actual cover artist for this.
Yeah.
And they actually made a variant comic out of this. But this is one specifically created for the show to bring the sense of reality to it. But when we did the research on it, what's really cool that you don't even pick up on is that this is based off of.
Gorgeous. You want to hold that side by
Going
side?
back to 80 years of Marvel, that's the original comic book from 1980. Patsy Walker 26. So they put Patsy Walker 26, and that's the original one.
You can tell we've done this before.
I know. This is so good. I mean, again, like the attention to detail is always really great. And again, always shouting out like the original history of the comics and stuff
It
like
is,
that.
and it's just great.
Gorgeous.
The people on the show were like, we got to put an homage to the Marvel comics.
And now I see
Pretty awesome.
we got something lurking.
Something lurking over here.
You're like, all right, great, but what else you got?
So I'll let you guys hold this.
What? What?
Yeah, for those that are fans, you recognize this.
This was the actual sign used?
This was sitting behind Jessica Jones in her office, the Alias Investigations Floor 5, facing out onto the street, so everybody knew they had to come to Floor 5 to come visit Jessica.
Oh my God!
Look at even the dust is
even
still
the
on
dust
there.
is still on.
It has little grit to it. Has little New York grit and grime. I like the letters are peeling up. Like there's such a lived-in feel to this. And I would put this again on the front of my home. Hopefully, no one asks Investigator.
But if you want a summary, I mean, you can put this up on your wall. It's just great to look at. It just summarizes the show right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you said you got to go and pick out the props. Is there any
did.
prop that you were like, oh man, I want to get this here? Is there one
Like
that you
this
had
has
to leave
to be
behind?
in
Yeah.
That I had to get?
Yeah.
Well, I had to get Jessica's jacket. I mean,
Yes.
think of the show, you guys. I got to see these jackets. I got to touch these jackets. Got to feel them. We have one on the floor. You can't touch it, but it's an actual really heavy-duty jacket that she wore on that, and you can sort of get the weight to it. So that we definitely had to have, and we'll actually have two of those, one of the hero ones and one of the stunt ones coming up in the auction, which is awesome. So if you wanted Jessica Jones's outfit, you've got that, but we have other ones as well. We got like a daydream dress. We have a whole bunch of different outfits for her and for characters. So we've got props, costumes, and set deck items like this.
I love that. Like fans that have watched these shows, lived and breathed these shows, can now get these props and have a piece of that in their own home.
Right. I mean, I look at it like, comic books, they had original art. Somebody had to hand draw it. The people behind these shows, they're artisans as well.
Crafted these.
And you get to appreciate their art. The fact that somebody put fake dirt on there to make it look aged, that took work to do. And so I think that's what you really get. I consider props, costumes, and all that the original art of today's generation who are watching the television shows and the movies, because that's what they're creating is art.
It builds that universe. Even Trish's coffee mug is that that's such a small detail, but it makes a huge difference. The Trish Talk poster is so many cool. This is.
I just want to keep
I
holding
just
it.
want to present
Put it somewhere, though.
it. We're gonna sit it right back down in its lovely hiding place with investigation. Can we just drop? I want to just
drop right down.
Yeah. Ooh, very nice.
careful.
Yeah, I'm very nice.
All right.
Gingerly.
So we'll talk about another
We don't see
character.
you tomorrow. We know why.
I know, right? There we go.
So when I got to walk the set, I hadn't seen Jessica Jones season 3 yet because we had to do this in advance because it takes a while to actually photograph all these, research all these, make sure that they actually are the items that appear on screen. But I saw the name Salinger. And when I was a kid, one of the comics I love, I'm going to give an obscure reference, Man-Thing 3 and 4, first appearance of the Fool Killer. And Salinger was actually the second Fool Killer. It came out in Omega number 9. And so when you look at the detail, I ran across some things that had Gregory Salinger written on it, and that is the Fool Killer. So it gave me a little bit of a hint as to who the villain was going to be in this, but didn't know much about what was going to go on. And you find out in Jessica Jones season 3 that Salinger is huge into wrestling, and this is his life. And when Jessica Jones smashes his trophies,
I remember that
he gets upset.
So bad.
And, I mean, to see the detail, to see the fact that it's got his name on there, to actually have one of these wrestling trophies like this.
Push the camera right here. This one right here.
Yeah. Take a look at that.
Yes. Oh, that detail and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's a statue, very heavy, too. It's got some weight to it. So I'll let you guys have
Oh,
it.
he's passing it around.
There you go.
Now-
You guys can touch it. Just be careful. Be careful.
Of course. Now, when you're, of course, you're dealing with, like you said, all these artists and stuff like that. What, in their minds, what goes into like a really a prop that they really want to show on the show? Like, what kind of stuff goes into? We want to kind of like bolster the story of this character with like this object or this costume piece. Like, what kind of goes into that?
It's funny. Like costumes. I think you look at Trish's costume.
Yeah.
You can look at like the fact that they want to pull yellow and black, and I think we've got her Hellcat costume down there. The fact that there's yellow veins in her gloves. The fact that they wanted to pull that through, but it also sort of emotes that there's anger, that there's a lot of sort of emotion going on in the costume. Somebody had to think about that, and I think it's one of those things that when you see these things up close and personal, you see the detail they put into it.
So we're showing all these props. How can fans at home get into this auction and participate?
Sure. So if they go to propstore.com/Marvel right now, they can register. You can see the preview, but you can also register right now, and you can win. You can actually enter for a chance to win one of Jessica Jones's Alias Investigations business cards. We're giving those away. All you have to do is, there's 5 of them we're giving away. All you have to do is register right now, register for the auction, and then you'll be all set when the actual auction happens. Catalog will come out. The full catalog will come out online. So if you're anywhere in the world, you can bid online, over the phone. It'll be a live auction in December, but when the catalog goes up in end of November, they can start bidding if they're all registered for it.
Oh, man.
And then we're going to start most of the bids at $50. So we want to make this accessible to all Marvel fans. There's going to be something in your price range. We wanted to make sure there's a variety of different things. Yes, Jessica Jones's outfit's probably going to go for a lot. Go for at least a few $1,000s. But there's other things, like something like this will start for $50. And so the fans determine what this stuff goes for, and hopefully everybody gets something that they want.